Staying in the UK, an extraordinary story is unfolding there with revelations that an Iranian terror attack was just hours away from being launched on British soil before it was foiled by counter-terrorism officers. British police arrested 8 people, including 7 Iranian nationals, on suspicion of terrorism offences. The UK Telegraph reports that authorities feared the attacks on a specific premises was imminent, and there is speculation, Douglas, that the target may have been a synagogue or another target linked to the Jewish community. This is, Douglas, certainly a frightening development.
It is very frightening, but sadly not surprising. Iranian terrorists have targeted people in a bewildering array of countries by now. They, of course, famously carried out bombings of Jewish community centers in South America some years ago, in New York City, in Brooklyn and elsewhere. Iranian government assassins tried to kill, again, just a year or two ago, a very brave Iranian exile who is critical of the regime. They tried to kill this young woman. In America, the Iranian government's most prominent media outlet boasts about this. Just the other week, as I wrote in the Post the other day, just the other week, the editor of one of the main organs of the Iranian revolutionary government, who has the ear of the supreme leader and is generally regarded as being a spokesman for him, said that it was still the intention of the Iranian government to put a bullet in the skull of President Trump. And he said, hopefully that day will arrive soon. It is amazing. We'll wait and see what unfolds in the UK about this terror cell and its prospective targets. But I don't think anyone should be that surprised by it. Iran has been pumping terrorists, obviously, around the region it's in. But the revolutionary government's also been trying to carry out assassinations with impunity in America, in other countries for years now. I do wonder when we'll start to take them seriously and actually do anything in response.
Meanwhile, Douglas, Keir Starmer continues to obsess about the threat from the so-called far right. Now, Nigel Farage's Reform Party had a stunning result at council and by-elections on Thursday. The party has now taken control of 10 local councils, won 2 mayoral races and added a 5th MP to its ranks. Farage is hailing Reform's triumph as unprecedented. He says it's the end of the two-party rule in the UK. Is he right? He is taking votes from Labor and the Tories, Douglas.
Well, Nigel Farage has done this before, of course. He led the Brexit Party and indeed UKIP to stunning electoral successes, principally back then in the European Parliament when Britain was still a member of the EU. So there are 2 things I think people have to bear in mind when they look at these elections. One is that they are local elections. Turnout tends to be low, and it tends to be the case that people punish incumbent parties. So that's definitely the case. It was an undoubtedly successful night for Reform. That doesn't necessarily mean, though, that Reform can see that through at a general election. As you know, Rita, the whole setup, and as Nigel Farage knows better than anyone, the whole setup of the first-past-the-post system, which is intended to give strong governments and sometimes does, but the whole point of it really is that an insurgent party like those that Nigel Farage has led for some 30 years now is effectively, it's very hard at general elections to break through. You see the number of votes that were needed, or the number of votes that happened at the last general election per Reform MP, as opposed to the number of votes per Labour MP. And I mean, it's way off. So we'll see. There are, of course, more than 4 years to go till the next general election in the UK. The problem that Farage obviously poses principally is not to Labour, although it definitely does chip away at Labour's vote and did do here. The principal threat is to the Conservative Party. If the Conservative Party cannot see off threat from Farage and Reform, then they really don't deserve to exist. But it should be possible for the Conservative Party to see them off. It's just that the Conservative Party has to, first of all, have policies that can outflank Nigel Farage's policies. And secondly, of course, To find some way back into the public trust after 13, 14 years of conservative governments, for instance, saying that they were going to lower migration while seeing migration go through the roof. It'll take quite a long time for the electorate to forgive the Conservative Party for that, I think. But the Conservative Party will have to address that question, and it'll have to do so much faster than they're doing at the moment.